Redpoint Global. Good morning, and welcome to day 2 of the AHIP Institute and Expo. We're here at the GuideWell Connect Insights Lounge in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're so glad that you're here with us again. We're going to be bringing to you interviews throughout the day of some of the best industry thought leaders, speakers, and attendees here at AHIP Institute. Everyone, my name is Kate Warnock, and our very first guest for the day is Dale Renner. Dale, welcome to the interview.
Good morning, Kate. Thank you for having me.
We're happy to have you here. So Dale is the CEO of Redpoint Global. Dale, your company has deep roots working with consumer-focused companies. What makes the healthcare vertical attractive to you as an area of expansion and focus for Redpoint? Maybe start with where you started with Redpoint Global.
Yeah, well, at Redpoint Global, we've operated under a model that's actually quite simple. It's really 3 major capabilities that we believe organizations have to have in order to engage their customers in an optimized fashion. One is to master your data, right? And then based on that data, having the best data, then you can drive insights from that data. Mm-hmm. And each insight then allows you to take action, right? And every action creates more data, better insights, more and more richer actions. So that really was the principle of Redpoint, and we have a software platform that really does that from an end-to-end, all-in-one kind of a platform that we bring to bear for our clients as well as our partners, which is why we got together here, because we're really talking about a partnership with GuideWell Connect, right, which is GuideWell Connect's focus is on the consumerism of healthcare, right? And of course that is the buzz here at the show. It's
absolutely
between Health Market 2.0 and the consumerism of healthcare. There's lots and lots of focus about what does all that mean, and how do we move from where we are today to where we want to be. Well, the partnering of GuideWell Connect, which is focused on delivering the set of capabilities around how to effectively manage those and engage patients, members, prospects, the person, the consumer, is GuideWell Connect's focus. Mm-hmm. And we, as their partner, are the underlying technology platform that enables all that.
Terrific. So you're so right. I mean, we had many interviews yesterday, Dale, and so much of the focus is really transforming the customer experience in a health plan. And it has to be data-driven, doesn't it? And as you said, you have to not just queue up what you know about the consumer at the start of the relationship, you have to continue to feed into the cycle of ongoing touch points. So is that something that Redpoint Global enables?
Right, and it's really kind of a funny thing because companies, a lot of people talk about data, big data, data analytics. Data by itself is quite worthless when you think about it, right? It's interesting. Okay, I got a lot of data, right? And everybody likes to talk about all their data. But the question is, what are you doing with that data? So when we think about the data side of this, we really think about, okay, first you got to aggregate that data. Then what you need to do is you need to integrate that data, and you need to create, or at least what we believe anyway, is that to be effective, you have to create a golden record. So what a golden record represents is that it's all information that you have or that's available about a consumer, about a person. And the reason that we need to have that golden record is that if we're going to communicate with someone across lots of channels and lots of different ways, whether it's social media, or it's email, or it's through the call center, or it's an inbound, it's an outbound, you really need to understand who that person is. And that's what this is really all about, is harvesting all that data, harnessing all that data, right, making that data available, but making that data, creating quality data out of that, right? And also to understand that it's dynamic. It's a profile that continues to grow, because people do things all the time.
That's right. That's right. That's the nature of a relationship. That's right. Right.
So then once you have that data, then you can execute off of that data. But unless, it's a little bit like people, a lot of people talk about content. Content is so important. Well, content without context is pretty worthless. Right. that's what we call spray and pray, right? Just send out lots of stuff, right? And see what works. Well, if you have context, now we can really start to hone in on you as the person, not us as a segment or some group of people, right?
You know, Dale, you lead me exactly to my next question. How does the health industry begin to match the degree of personalization that we've seen already in play in so many of the other retail industries?
Yeah, well, I think that, well, one, we already talked about harnessing all this data, making that data available at the point of need, right? And then using that to really think about how, what's the next offer, next action. Now, I think that where it has to start, the trap that people fall into a lot, at least in my experience, is that they think about this from the inside out. That is, this is what I have in my organization. This is the data, for example. This is my program. This is what I want to go do.
Right.
I think what has to happen is we have to think about it from an outside in. What does this person need? And particularly as it relates to healthcare. The funny thing is, for lots and lots of years in broad consumer marketing, people always talked about market of one, which was a complete fallacy. Nobody did a market of one, right? What they did is there was a person in a company, right, or a company that marketed to a segment. It's a group of people. Healthcare is totally different than that, because you really don't care what my situation is, you care about what your situation is when it comes to your health. So this really is about thinking about each individual person, and what I believe will happen here is, what has to happen is, we need to create journeys, right? We need to think about a journey. Leading consumer marketing companies, what they do is they think about the journey that their customer is on. And this can be many months, it can be many years. We have clients who think about journeys being many, many years, and all the things that are going to happen across that journey, and being able then to understand that, use the data to get to what every action, what every offer, how I communicate, the engagement. How do I do that in a way that works for you as opposed to for me? Because if it works for you, it should work for me. Right.
So Dale, I know that one of the strengths of GuideWell Connect is it's not just about the sale and the onboarding. It's really about that ongoing engagement, so that you retain that customer. Because as you know, in this new health environment, people get to choose you every year.
That's right.
The individual consumer puts you on the line and compares you to all their other options. So if you don't have that relationship, it's personalized, it's based on the needs, as you said, there's no reason for that person to feel loyal to you as a health plan. So I think that what Redpoint Global is doing is enabling GuideWell Connect to offer to its clients a way to really make that actionable data really translate into a relationship. So that journey, as you say, it has to survive that annual choice that they get to make.
Well, that's right, and we just produced with GuideWell Connect a case study, and it was interesting because GuideWell Connect was talking about savings, so from an efficiency standpoint, ranging from 30% to 70%, depending on the type of thing that was being done, and the effectiveness of it as well, because what everybody is looking to do is, I want to have a better relationship with you, but I want to drive that cost down as well, right? So the better part is, how do I get a better result, get to a better answer faster for you, right? And the other thing that's happening in this world today is, you and I both, we have these devices called mobile phones, right? And we expect immediacy. When we hit the go button, we want something to happen now, right? Well, healthcare is becoming that way, because it's getting dispersed, isn't it? If you think about what GuideWell is doing with the retail stores, right? Now I can go to Walgreens. I haven't gone to the doctor for years to go get a flu shot, right? All that stuff is changing. But how does my physician, how does my insurance provider, how does everybody get a comprehensive view of me and what's going on? That's the challenge, right? Because we're in this world of immediacy. How do I get all that pulled together so that when I interact with you, when I engage with you, 15 minutes after you've gotten a flu shot, how do I know about these things? How do I know what you've done, right? And that's going to be the challenge in all of this, I think. But that's also the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I think that is where a lot of, as they say, a lot of fortunes are going to be made or lost, right? Because the leaders in this space are going to do that. That's where they're going to go. Everybody's going to figure out how to get that data, how to get it faster, and how to get a result back to you much, much faster.
So Dale, with your years of experience, I think that this is going to be an easy question for you. What are the biggest things that health companies can learn from the best of the consumer businesses that you work with? There has to be some parallels.
There are, and I think, and it's interesting that you asked that question because in one sense, the healthcare industry has an advantage because they're not stuck in all this legacy marketing stuff where they basically have fragmented the data in all these different channels. They haven't engaged that way, so they almost get to start
fresh,
almost fresh, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about that, and then you think about what the leaders do, and they create these customer journeys, and the leaders are thinking more and more about the machines helping me to get to these outcomes because it's really not humanly possible to understand all these different relationships and all these different, these people. I mean, you can't understand 4.5 million. If you look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, 4.5 million members, right? Well, I can't understand all those people. I have to have the machines use it. So the leaders, what they're doing is this. They're basically attacking this from all the data, all the time, any format, any cadence, bring that data together. Then what's being deployed, because there are really three types of analytics. There's the BI world, the business intelligence, the rear view mirror of what's happened. That's interesting. There's the offline or the predictive analytics. I build these models and they're really aimed at segmenting and those kinds of things. And then there's real-time analytics, right? Which is where the machines are helping us to understand. The machines are helping us to discover insights through all this data that I can't humanly, I can't do that, right? So the leaders are getting all that data pulled together, they're creating that golden record, they're employing machine learning techniques, and then what they're being able to do is to execute across all the channels, but it's all in the context of a journey, right? And it's like anything else. You have to understand what objective you're trying to drive to, right? You can't just go and do these things, like they always say, a fool is a tool is still a fool. And so I think that if you look at best practices, particularly in the financial services world, those people think about a long relationship with their customer, a really long relationship, right? And they do a really good job. The leaders do a really good job. And I think that is a model for healthcare. Right, I really do, but I think it's those three capabilities: harnessing that data, getting that data pulled together, driving insights from that data, and then executing it against that. And I think I really think this is a great opportunity for everybody.
I have to agree with you. Who better to benefit from all this technology than the consumer? And I know that's what you're here to enable. And GuideWell Connect is hopefully going to be bringing to more of its clients thanks to the capabilities that you afford it. So Dale, thank you so much for your time here today at the GuideWell Connect Insights Lounge. My name is Kate Warnock. We're going to be up soon with another interview. Come back and watch us.